I've got a new video project and I need to replace the weather strip around the rear window here on my 77 C10. So right here I have the new just plain black weather stripping. The glass is in fairly decent shape. It's not delaminating anywhere and there's no chips, there's no cracks. The previous owner of this truck just trashed this whole truck, just bombed this whole truck with rattle can gray primer, and they hardly taped off anything. So I gotta thoroughly clean this glass up. Now over here I've actually I took the box knife and actually cut a lot of the old weather strip away just because I knew I was going to replace it. That way when I painted this truck, the paint would flow in and the new weather strip, when I put that on, would cover over and it would be a nicer finish. It wouldn't look like you know, a hard tape line right where the weather strip meets the sheet metal. So we got to pull this out. It's really not too difficult. You just cut it out. Just get your box knife, you get in there, cut it out. But getting it back in can be a little tricky. We have to do what's called roping it in, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, well, let's get started cutting this out of there. Go ahead and put a new razor blade into your box knife just to make this job a little bit easier. So you just kind of cram it in there and you just start dragging it and cutting that old weather strip out of there. Here's all we got left of the gasket remaining on that pinch weld seam. So you just find a spot where it's starting to come off and you just kind of work it out of there. It's just kind of wrapped around that little pinch weld, so it just comes off really pretty easily. So see, it's just falling down. So we'll get that out of there and then we'll start cleaning on our glass over here. Well, I got the glass all cleaned up. As you saw, it had some overspray on it, so we got all that cleaned off, and now I'm ready to come in here and put my new piece of weather stripping on this piece of glass. And it's a little chilly out here today. It's 60 to 65 degrees out here, so I've had this laying in the sun for about an hour just to kind of heat up and warm up and loosen up a little bit so I can stretch it around this piece of glass. Now on my C10, this is a single piece of 1/8 inch glass. It's tempered glass, but it's not laminated, so it's pretty fragile. 1/8 inch glass, if you breathe on it wrong, it can crack. So this is going to be a little bit of a tricky process, but hopefully it should all go smoothly. The new weather stripping is run around the glass. So now I got to come in here. I've got a piece of a 1/4 inch nylon rope. We're just going to fit it under there and wrap it around. And what I usually do with this is I wrap it around the top edge, because this bottom edge I can kind of get in there by hand, and gravity will kind of hold it onto that that pinch weld seam. So we'll get this wrapped on and then we'll go put it on the truck. And that's it, fully installed. Don't forget to use a lot of your glass cleaner. It's a fairly decent lubricant for this job, and it wipes off. Don't use WD-40, you'll just have a greasy mess. So we got everything nice and tight in here. We just gotta clean the windshield off, and it's all finished. So I appreciate y'all watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.